Alright, guys. Welcome to Brother Jay's Card Finds. Part 2 of this weekend. This was Sunday. I already did a video for Saturday. Sunday was a little more involved, so I hope you'll bear with me as I tell you what I did that day. From last video, I went to Jake's. You guys know that. And I think I mentioned where I was going back the next day because a dealer had was going to bring me a box at a good price that I wanted. I don't think I revealed it, but I will now. So what it was this. I know a lot of you guys probably don't care about golf, but I'm a big golf fan. And if you know anything about golf, this is Tiger Woods rookie year. It's a sealed box. It's a hobby box. On eBay, they typically go between $100 and $150. And this one I actually bought for $20. Yes, $20. First of all, I want to say the gentleman that had it was a nice older gentleman. I explained to him that the box was worth quite a bit more than $20, but he said no, $20 would be fine with him. So he just asked me to come back the next day. He would bring it, and I did. And I had my list the next day. I don't know if I mentioned it in the last video, but I did not have my list. So I had my list with me. I went through his box to see if I could source a few more 1983 Fleers. Unfortunately, he only had 3 more of those that I needed for my set. But I ended up getting the 6 for $1. I pulled 3 more cards that I put back the day before. So I'll show you those cards. This is, I'm going to use a lid to get this to focus. Otherwise, I'm going to be fighting the focus all the time. I know you guys probably enjoy my background, but I'd rather have you actually see the cards. So that's what I'm trying to do here. So, okay, here we go. White background. All right. So we got Fred McGriff, Home Run Heroes. Just a little insert, no big deal. Tony Fernandez, 84 Flair rookie. And this is a Fred McGriff 90s Impact player. I needed it for my set of that I'm trying to put together. Not a really important set, but... And then there are a couple more 83s. 3 more 83s I needed. Darryl Porter. Darryl Porter, unfortunately, has a stain on the corner. I just noticed that. So I'm not sure if I'm keeping that one or not. I might just keep it. Since it's for a set, I probably will. It's not perfect, but Mike Flanagan and Joe Niekro. So no Hall of Famers in that stack. I have to think about the Darryl Porter, if I'm going to keep that or not. But yeah, that was the main thing I went back to Jake's, was to get the golf box. I'm not going to rip it. I'm going to keep it sealed on my sealed wax shelf. Okay, well then I knew I wanted to head to a show. I ended up going to the Chester County Card Show. Let me put something up so we're not just talking to a white box. I'll put this back up for now while I talk. Alright. Anyway. So I got to Westchester, which is where the show was. And it followed GPS right to the driveway. And then when you went to the driveway, you could see, first of all, when you drove by, you could see there were tons of people waiting in line. Okay, so that kind of sucked in itself. But, I mean, it's good for the show, I guess. But, then I went to the parking lot, and it was just no spots anywhere. And everybody kept just pouring in there. Everybody drove around the lot and basically exited out. So most of the traffic ended up going to the left. I believe there must have been a lower parking lot. I didn't want to do that. As a matter of fact, I had to reassess what I was going to do because I was actually frustrated with all that. So I went up top and I thought about it for a little bit. And I was like, do I want to even stay for this? I thought about going to Allentown since I hadn't been to that show. But it would have been another 60 miles back to Allentown. And I was like, you know what? I came all the way out here. I'm going to go. So I went back towards the building, and on the left I saw there was a small parking lot that was actually open, and it was not far from the building. It was far enough that I could walk. even with my issues I have with walking. So anyway, so I got in. Then I was a little disappointed because, and I'm not trying to trash Chester County Card Show because they made good with it, but they had this idea that they wanted to have an early bird, but they had originally scheduled the show to start at 9 o'clock. But then they switched it somewhere in the middle, and it said all of a sudden now, anybody that came in at 9 o'clock was an early bird, and you had to pay $10. Well, I was not happy. I didn't want to be an early bird. I wanted to be just, somebody that was just a regular ticket. Because $5 is enough for me to pay. I ended up paying $10. Now, I will say this. When I complained about it on their Facebook page, they did get back to me and refund me the $5. Because I did show them the ad where it originally said early bird was before 9. Before they had changed it. Okay, so anyway, went into the show. It was very well attended. Maybe overly too much, but there was a lot more room. There was a lot more seats. There was parking for everybody, even if you had to drive a little bit. First place I went to was a guy that had a lot of vintage. I saw he had cheap stuff. I asked him about whether he had cheaper cards, because the box he had on the table was all Phillies. He told me he had 2 boxes of basically Hall of Famers, and that the way the pricing structure was, if they were not sleeved, they were a quarter. If they were sleeved but not marked, they were 50 cents. And then otherwise, they would have a price on them. And if the price was on them, then you paid the price. So I ended up buying about 60 of the quarter cards. And then there was a few other ones that were a little more expensive, and I'll show you those. But we'll go through the 60 quarter cards. So 1990 Bowman Griffey. Of course, I have a ton of that. Topps Finest. I'm not sure what year. If I can flip it over and look. I think it's a 95 Topps Finest. Pretty sure I don't have that. I didn't really check that one, but I bought this one just because it's miscut severely. So, I don't know if that's him underneath there, too. It's another Expo player. Looks like it could be. This is a Frank Thomas Topps magazine. Very cool. I'm happy with that. This is a Studio 91 Frank Thomas. Again, most of these are going to be from my Frank Thomas personal collection. Score Fleer 96. Here's a AL Most Valuable Player. What's this one here? Not sure what this is. The Upper Deck. Game Face, I believe it says. Here's a Topps Gallery. A lot of weird rainbow colors. Here's a Upper Deck X, I believe they call this that. This is one of those Bowman preview cards. So it's a Frank Thomas one of those. Here is Frank Thomas, what it's called, Patchworks. There you go. Okay. There may be more Frank Thomas to believe there probably is, but yeah, there is. But we'll get to them as we get to them. There was a lot. Most of the stuff was either Frank Thomas or Ken Griffey. So here's a Bonds from 98 Upper Deck. I believe I needed that to complete that set. Here's a Griffey 94 Topps Gold, Measures of Greatness. Here's a cool looking one. I believe it's from Baseball Cards Presents, 1975 look. Here's a weird one. The Gold Collection, Ken Griffey Jr. And there's the back of that. This must be from a box set. You didn't see too many of the Griffeys in box sets, but here's one. So, here is Super Kid. Unfortunately, I got one with a crease in it, so that will probably be getting rejected. And the thing that burns me the worst is he had a stack of these, and of course I picked the one that has a crease on it. So that'll probably be rejected. This card is really cool looking. I love it. Future Stars. It's a bootleg, obviously, but it's very cool looking. This is... It says Kinetics. So, a lot of tanning on some of these, but... Here's another 90 Bowman. Okay. Here's one with a gold... Pardon me, a couple gold grippies coming up. Bootleg stuff, so... Nothing great. Over a quarter. I'm not going to turn them down. Moeller. High School All-American. Ken Griffey Jr. Here's the back looking like an 86... I think an 86 Fleer basketball sticker. Yet another Bowman Griffey 90. Here's a Raleigh Fingers Senior League Baseball. Here is an Ichiro from Sports Illustrated for Kids. Barry Larkin, 87 Donruss rookie. Here's a Barry Larkin. It's like a 70 or 71, I think, actually. That's from a baseball card magazine. Here is a Gary Carter from 85 Topps Traded. Here is Jeff Bagwell from the Rookies, 91. Here is a Jeff Bagwell Gallery of Stars from Donruss. Here is a Ty Cobb Sports Illustrated for Kids. This is a pretty good one for a quarter. It's really cut weird. That's why it was in there for a quarter. As you can see, it's very miscut. So it's kind of almost like a hexagonal. That's why it was in there. I figured for a quarter it was kind of cool. I always buy this card if I find it cheap. Pete Rose from the 84 Topps Traded. Here is a Cal Ripken. Looks like it came with the same thing as... From Topps Magazine it came from. Here is a Cal Ripken Nestle card. 84 back. And this is a Nolan Ryan. Looks like an 87 Topps, but it's 87 O-Pee-Chee. There's the back. Okay. Still more to go with that lot. Like I said, it was about 60 cards there. We got a couple of the Nolan Ryans for my set with the 27 Seasons logo. These are ones I needed. I checked them all against my list. Both of these two. This thing here, I believe, is a sticker. A large one, but... Because you look on the back... Yeah, Panini sticker, so, yep. But it's a sizable card, so it's kind of cool. Manny Ramirez, Topps Finest Features. This one you're not going to believe. And I was very surprised that he had this in the quarter box, but I don't know if it was a mistake somehow or what. But it's not, it's not perfect, but it's pretty nice. Ryan Sandberg rookie. So this looks like a good one, but it's actually a reprint. Dave Winfield. As you can see, it's a reprint. Not sure what it came from. 1991 Bowman Jim Thome. Here comes some more Frank Thomas's. Upper Deck Top 40. This is from the 40-man set. Here is a triple play that apparently I didn't have of Frank Thomas. Here is, I believe this is 95 Fleer Ultra. It's a gold medallion. Here is 96 Pinnacle with the batting average. Here is, pardon me. Let's see what year it is first. It's a 97 Collector's Choice Frank Thomas. Here is, I don't even know what this card is. Upper Deck Superstars, Frank Thomas. Chicago is in bigger letters than the Frank Thomas. Here is a later redo of Frank Thomas, 1984 Topps. I don't believe I have that. Could be wrong. Here is a Bomb Squad. And that's from Triple Play. Pretty sure I don't have that. Master of the Game. Frank Thomas from Topps. Very shiny. Here is a Frank Thomas Skybox Dominion. There's the back. Okay. I'm not sure what this is. I know it's Topps, because it says Topps and big in the logo, but I'd have to... Yeah, I'm not sure what it is. That's kind of cool, though. Here is the 2007 Topps. I don't know if I need this for my set or not, but if not, I'm sure I need it as a single. Here is I believe this is a Fleer Hot Properties, I believe it is. Here is Pacific Omega 2000, Frank Thomas. Like I said, all these are Frank Thomas. So, this is Home Run Heroes, Power Elite. So, I don't know much more about it other than that. Here is a 97 Fleer Frank Thomas, All-Star 96. Here is a Crown, I think it says Crown Collection Frank Thomas. So that's a pretty good one. And one last one. It's always nice to get a 1990 Bowman Thomas rookie for a quarter. That was pretty good. So, all right, there were more cards from that seller. So we'll go in reverse order. This didn't have a price, it was 50 cents. It's a Frank Thomas phone card. Okay. A Rod Carew 83 Fleer for my set, 50 cents. I have no idea what this is, and I'm definitely going to investigate. It looks like a Nestle. See, it's Nestle. And it's an 84 Boggs, but it's in black and white. So it probably some kind of weird bootleg, but paid 75 cents to find out. Here's a bunch of dollar cards. I got 1, 2, excuse me, 3 Frank Thomas Topps rookies, a Frank Thomas gold hologram, and I'm not even sure what it's from. Let's say Arena Holdings, Arena Holograms. Here is a Pete Rose from an 83 set, and here is a Johnny Bench from an 83 set. They were $1. Now we're getting to some of the two most expensive cards I got from him. Roger Clemens rookie for $3. I thought it was pretty nice for $3. Don't see any obvious flaws. This is going to be the weirdest one. I'm going to take it out of the sleeve just so you guys can get a look at it. It's really a neat card. Gary Carter, Memphis Blues. And if you look, the stats are from 74. Internationally, TCMA 75. So it came out the same year as his rookie, but it's his minor league card. So that is very cool. I paid $7 for that. I mean, I don't really know a whole lot about it, but it seemed like it should be worth at least $7. So I'm going to see if it fits in. The regular sleeve is too short for it. So I don't know if I have any longer ones. See if this is any longer. I'd like to find something a little bit longer. I'm going to put it in a top loader. Yeah, it doesn't fit in a regular sleeve. I'm going to put it in the top loader. The top will be sticking out of the sleeve, but it will be okay. There you go. Like I said, I paid $7 for that. So I'll have to look on eBay and see if they actually go for any more. All right, well, that was it from that first seller. I spent quite a bit of time with him. It was mainly, most of the time, was going through the Frank Thomases and verifying I didn't have them. Next guy I went, and I walked around a lot trying to find various things. I talked to various people. Just didn't want to. I mean, one guy had what I thought was a fantastic deal. He had Stadium Club Baseball first year, Series 1, Series 2. He had the boxes priced at $20 each. He told me if I bought both, he would do $30 for both of them, which I think was a good deal. I mean, I don't check prices on eBay for that, but I just don't want to have to lug around two heavy boxes. So I found a guy that had a quarter box, and it looked like it was some good stuff. And it also said if you buy 100, you get them for 10 cents each. So that was my goal, basically, to buy 100, and I definitely got it. So I opened my horizons a little bit since I had a feeling I was going to be paying 10 cents each. So I bought a lot of stuff that you like might be like, why did you buy it? Here's a Kyle Kendrick rookie card for my rookie box. We got a Justin Verlander. I believe that's a 2010. 2009, I think. All right. Here's a Frank Thomas. I don't think I have. I may have it, but here's a Darwin Barney Topps Chrome rookie. Again, who's Darwin Barney? Well, I know he was in the majors. Here's a Kirby Puckett Classic. Here's a Joey Votto Sabermetrics card. Pete Rose Fleer insert. Tom Glavine rookie. Bo Jackson score. Here is a Raleigh Fingers Diamond King. I'm not sure from what year that is. Looks like it says an 82, which makes sense. That was the year he won the Cy Young and MVP. Ricky Henderson looks like a 93 Fleer, and I guess it is. But if you look there, Fruit of the Loom. Those are very hard to come by. Don Mattingly, 87 Classic. Actually, not 87. I think it's 88, but whatever. Here is Roger Clemens, same set. Cal Ripken, Red Classic. There's a lot of classics in here. I bought them. Here is a Jeff D'Amico, and it's a metal universe with the Rockets. Here is a Paul Goldschmidt Bowman Chrome. Here is a Jose Barrios Bowman's Best Rookie. You see the rookie shield on it. We got Country Time Drink Mix Legends. And I believe it's Brooks Robinson on there. I gotta look into that, see how many was in that set. Here's a home plate heroes. I believe this was from like Kraft Macaroni and Cheese, but it's no mine. Here's a Tome. It looks like an old Bowman. It's Topps Heritage. All right. Roger Clemens, Team Leaders, KB. Here is a Pudge Rodriguez, Pacific Paramount. Here is a Pudge Rodriguez rookie. Minor league still, but still a rookie. 91 Classic Best. Here's an 81 Stolen Base Leaders. 1980 Stolen Base Leaders from an 81 set. Ricky Henderson and Ron LaFleur. You got a Mike Trout, youngest to hit for the cycle in the AL. Got a Bo Jackson with the Angels. Some kind of superstar card with Jeter. I bought a lot of Jeters. I do remember that. I may already have this card in my rookie box. It's a 94 Franchise Gem Action Pack Chan-Ho Park. It is his rookie year. We got Derek Bell. I love these weird art cards. I mean, I know Derek Bell isn't much to think about, but... here's another Glavine rookie from Donruss. Here is a Jeff Bagwell, Fruit of the Loom again. Here's an 81 batting and pitching leaders from Oakland, Ricky Henderson and Steve McCatty. Here's a George Brett, which I think is basically his last card. You see a big box of stats. I believe that was probably his last card. A Fernando Tatis Gold Cup card. Another classic, Roger Clemens. Here's a Mitch Williams from the 86 rookie Sportflix set. So that's his rookie. Bo Jackson from Upper Deck, what do they call him? Fun Pack or some stuff? Yeah, something like that. Here's a Deion Sanders fold out. And it's not sealed, it actually folds out so you can actually see. See, there you go. Deion Sanders. Okay. Here's an Aaron Judge League Leader card. Here's an Edgar Martinez rookie from 88 Fleer. Prince Fielder, I PC him. Don't know if I have that already or not, but I may. Here's a Jeff Cirillo, one of them Dufex cards. And I do like Jeff Cirillo, so that's good, especially because he was with the Brewers for quite a while. Here is a Prince Fielder X card. Here is an Upper Deck Collector's Choice checklist with Frank Thomas signing a bat. Here's a Mike Schmidt, making it look like a 1980 card, but it's actually one of them all-time fan favorite cards. So that's kind of cool, though. Here is a Ryan Howard. Looks like he won the Home Run Derby that year. I would say that's probably accurate. This was a pretty surprising find in there. This is a Barry Bonds rookie. You can see that. It's from 86 to rookies. So that's Bonds rookie. Definitely. It's one you don't see a whole lot. Here's a Barry Larkin All-Star Heroes. Here is a Jeff Jenkins. I do collect Jeff Jenkins, so figured why not. It's a cool card. Don Mattingly, Classic Red. Some of these could be repeats, by the way. Here's an Ultra All-Star Fred McGriff. It's a insert card. 81 George Brett. This is a 2023 Bryce Harper. The reason I got it is because it has this little logo on it. I'm not sure if they were given out at the All-Star game or what happened, but there you go. Here's another Clemens. It's a little off-center, but it's pretty good. Another handful. Okay, we got... Now, some of these look like refractors. I don't know if they are or they aren't. If they are, I don't believe they say so on the card. The Scott Rowland Bowman Chrome and a Jimmy Rollins Bowman Chrome. Let's see. Ryan Sandberg, 1986 tops. This one's a surprising one. Bo Jackson. Excuse me, Michael Jordan. Sorry. Michael Jordan. I assume it's a baseball card. He's shooting a basket, though. Here's a Mike Piazza. Now, this logo means something. I have to look it up, but it means something. Here's a Mike Schmidt from the Ames set. It's got some little divots in the top of it. I don't know if you can see those or not, but here's a Nomo from Score. 1992 season highlight. Robin reaches 3,000. Very cool. This one, I got a little upset because the guy, he put them in these 100-count plastic boxes. And this one's not oversized, but somehow it got bent in the box. As you can see, there's a bend in the card now. So, I'm going to keep it, but because it's not creased, but it's another Brooks Robinson. It's that Country Time. I got to see what that's all about. Here's a Ricky Henderson special edition. Don't believe I had that. This is a Ruben Sierra rookie, I believe. Yeah. From the Sportsflix. We got a Derek Jeter. Upper Topps card. Here is a Paul Goldschmidt Bowman's Best. Here's an Ozzie Smith hologram. You can actually see him doing his backflip in the hologram. That's pretty cool. Alright, we got there's a Ken Griffey Leaf card. We got a Manny Ramirez 2009, I think it is. A league leader, Mike Schmidt KB Toys. Mookie Betts opening day. 2015, I believe that is. Ryan Howard Bowman. The card's kind of worthless, but it's Clemente, so I like to have it as a single if I don't already. Studio. Now, what I didn't tell you guys is at this point in the show, I had lost my list. Somehow I lost it, which is going to be a real big pain in the rear because now I have to redo the whole list and get rid of the cards. So I basically have to check all the sets and see what I'm missing again. So this I may or may not need for Studio 92. If I don't, it can go in the junk box. This is kind of a neat one. Neither of these guys panned out, but well, Todd Zeile was a good player for a while. 1990 Rookie Storage cards from a magazine cut out. Still got a lot more to go, guys. Sorry. It's a really long video. It's over half an hour already. Maybe I should stop. So we'll stop for a little bit. Here's a Mark McGwire. I'm going to stop and do another one. This is just too long.